Welcome into Outkick, the show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I have no idea what the audio or video components are going to look like here. I am coming to you live from my hotel room in Manhattan, where I have now arrived to begin the week of Outkick in New York City, as well as out with the incredible setup that we have for the U.S. Open on Thursday and Friday. I'm told we're going to be set up right where they're teeing off. Let me know if the audio is okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I do have a great hotel room. I want to start here before I even get into telling you how to make some gambling money, how to go out and make sure that you get the best possible gambling buck. Let me go ahead and tell you that. Go to sportsbookreview.com. Let me tell you, go to sportsbookreview.com and you will get hooked up for the best possible rate wherever you want to go to gamble. Some of the futures on the Heisman, some of the futures on the NFL, whatever you want, sportsbookreview.com. All right, let me tell you this. I am right now, and I'm going to tell you about my friends at Home Loan Expert, but sometimes I like to give pause and think about how much things can change over the course of your years. And I'm going to get into all this different talk about Vandy, Mississippi State, everything else. I am right now in what used to be the Tribeca Grand Hotel. I think they've changed the name to the Roxy. It's next door to where I'm going to be broadcasting from, the iHeart Studios. I just wanted a hotel right by it. But this was an interesting moment for me this afternoon when I got up here and I checked in. I specifically remember in the summer of 2002. In the summer of 2002, when I was just finishing my first year of law school, I came up to New York City to hang out with my wife, who was dancing at the Alvin Ailey group. If you know dance at all, if you're not a bunch of loser, non-artistic people. And we went out to get drinks at the Tribeca Grand Hotel with some of her girlfriends and their boyfriends from the University of Michigan. And I remember walking into this hotel lobby, and it was my turn to go buy a round. And I remember that the beers, I believe, and this would have been in 2001 or 2002, were $10 each, and I couldn't afford to buy an entire round of drinks for the group in this hotel. I am now in one of the penthouse suites in this hotel. I didn't know it was the same hotel. I didn't have any kind of recognition of that at all. But every now and then, I think no matter what you do, it's important to kind of take a moment and pause and think about what you did, where you've come, and kind of the trajectory of your life in general. And this is a pretty awesome place here in Tribeca that I'm staying in for a couple of days before I go out to the Hamptons and make a lot of long drives from the Courtyard by Marriott. All right, but it is pretty interesting to think about the trajectory of where your life can go and everything else. And my advice to everybody out there, honestly, is keep grinding, because 6 years ago I couldn't have stayed in a place like this. 5 years ago, I might not have been able to stay in a place like this. So I think it's just an important moment kind of in general for everybody, no matter what you do, to find something you love and go after it every single day. And by the way, it's not like I have achieved anything of any substantial renown, but it is interesting for my own personal experience to not be able to afford to buy a round of beers at the bar in the hotel where I'm now staying in one of the penthouse suites. That is kind of an interesting trajectory in life over the course of, look, it's been a long time, 17 years, but it's always important to not just think about where you are, but remember where you have been. All right, the other thing is here, I'm still struggling because right now I'm in an absolute panic. I try to be as honest and transparent as I can possibly be. What do you think I'm in an absolute panic about right now? I am in an absolute panic right now because my charger has just stopped working. And I don't know if there's a worse feeling in the first world than having your phone about to die and having a charger and trying it like 100 times everywhere you can possibly go. Like, I tried every different extension in the room. My phone right now is down at the front desk. There's no telling what they're doing at the front desk because I have to be able to get it charged. I cannot imagine anything worse than knowing that your cell phone is about to die and not knowing whether it's going to be able to charge or not because your cell phone is dead. So I was panicking as I was watching it go from 3 to 2 to 1. And I'm thinking, it's not working. So I've got to go out and buy a new charger. First world problems. I may be able to afford beers. I may be in the penthouse of the hotel. But hold on, I got an extra button undone. I don't want to give people too much of a show. But I've got to go out right now and get my own new charger. All right, got to tell you this right now. Also, my guy Ryan Kelly. I was talking earlier about how in 2001 I couldn't afford to buy a round of beers in this hotel. Now I'm in the penthouse. Started at the bottom. Now the whole crew is here, except it's just me by myself in the suite, but we'll not talk about that. But in general, I got to tell you this right now. If you have too much credit card debt and you need to go and you've got a home and your home value has been increasing, let my guy Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com hook you up. Let him take you into a new world where you wipe out all your credit card debt. How much less stress would you have if you're a dad, if you're a mom, if you're just a single guy or girl, and you didn't have credit card debt? How much difference would it make for you? A ton. If you own a home, unlock the equity in your home and make sure that you do it right now. You'll be glad that you did. Yes, my hair is going gray. Never used any product. All natural. Never use any product in this hair. This is all natural. No gel, no nothing. Getting a little bit of gray going on. That's just a sign of all of the intelligence that my brain has managed to retain over the several generations. I'm 39 years old. You could have a fake guy here who's got all natural Al Michaels brown hair, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to let it roll, continuing to go on and dominate just like I am. Got to get a little gray in the temples, little Polly Walnuts here from Sopranos. It's a good look. Women like the gray at the temples. Shows that you got a little bit of wisdom, but your penis still works. Don't want to be all gray. Penis might not work then. A little bit of gray is wisdom, but penis still works. All gray oftentimes means the penis doesn't work. That's a bad sign. Penis still works here. All right, let's talk about all these different stories I want to get to. Last night I had a incredible experience. But I'm a little bit afraid that I'm now going to be leaving the game early, guy. I don't know how many of you watched the College World Series last night. It was an incredible game, best sporting event of the weekend. If you watched, let me know if you watched on either Facebook or Periscope. We're live here. Again, this is Outkick the show. I took my kids, and I was supposed to be up in New York yesterday. But I decided after I watched Game 1 and Game 2, which both ended in walk-off shots, it was so incredible to watch that game. Both those games, that when it was a 5 o'clock start, I flipped my travel schedule because my boys said they wanted to go watch Game 3. I didn't just take my boys, I took one of their friends too. So we had 4 kids, 10 and under, 2 10-year-olds, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And we got there just a few minutes before the game was scheduled to start, and I got to tell you, they had one of those crazy southern storms where it seems to be raining all over the place except exactly where you are. And so as a result, I was just sitting around like, what in the world is actually transpiring here? We had a 2-hour rain delay. 2-hour rain delay where they took us into the auxiliary gym there at Memorial Gym at Vanderbilt. A lot of Outkick fans were there. It was great to meet everybody. We had 2 hours to fill. I had all my kids. Everybody's running around like crazy. And it was a really interesting wait. But my nervousness started in. I have to get up. I'm the guy who has to always get up early in the morning. There's a 0% chance that I would have taken my entire family to this game if I knew it started after 7 o'clock. 0%. Because college baseball games all go like 4 hours. So I was thinking worst case scenario, game will start at 5. It'll be over at 9. I'll be home by 10. I can get, 5.5 hours of sleep. I'll be fine. That's my number. I like to get 5.5, ideally 6. If I get 4, that's tough. That's a long day, especially when you have to travel to New York and everything else associated with it. So we're hanging out there. And while I'm there, Jake Mangum, Mississippi State's number 15, and if I mess up his name, I apologize. I'm just getting to know this kid. Jake Mangum, who is the center fielder for Mississippi State, he was absolutely phenomenal. He reached out to me. I have open DMs, so anybody can reach out. Didn't know him, but he said he was a big fan of Outkick, and I'll be damned if during the break, okay. During the rain delay, he sent me a DM and he said, "What are the names of the kids that you're with today?" And then before the game started, Jake Mangum, number 15, incredible player from Mississippi State, the guy who was throwing people out, player of the game for Mississippi State. I'll be damned if he didn't jog out with autographed baseballs made out to each of the 4 kids that I was with, as well as an autographed baseball for me that said "Aloha bitches." And this is another thing. I was talking about not being able to afford beers in the hotel that I'm staying in the penthouse in now. I'll tell you this too. I am getting used to the idea. You were talking, some of you guys were making mention of the Gray Temples here. I'm getting used to the idea that a lot of younger athletes have now grown up, particularly if they're from the South, having watched or listened to me or read Outkick. And this is going to be it's a crazy kind of trajectory of life there too. I think about the fact that 2000 doesn't seem that long ago to me. Even though I was talking about how I couldn't buy a beer in the bar here or buy a round of beers, we're now in a position where this is a situation where there are kids who were born in 2000 that are now playing college sports. And a lot of those kids are going to have grown up, particularly if they're in the South, if they're from the Nashville area at all, or they're really committed to SEC sports, having read the books, having listened to the show, having read the column. This is a new world order for me. But I can't give enough props to this kid. He's 21 years old, junior in college, about to play the biggest game of his career to try to take his team to the College World Series. And during a rain delay, he's reaching out to me to see whether or not he can give autographed baseballs to my kids and their friend. And I can't speak highly enough of that kid and also of the ice water in his veins. Because as soon as I saw this story, I turned to my wife and I said, I think Vandy's in trouble. Because a lot of people get more nervous as big games get closer. The goal in life, and I said this on my radio show this morning, your goal in life shouldn't be to get panicked and perform and whenever you have a major event coming up, be it a speech, give it a sales meeting, be it a radio show like I do every day. I always say, if you can't go to bed the night before, prepared to wake up within 2 hours and deliver exactly everything that you need to know the next day, then you haven't prepared enough the night before. I have a notepad right here. This is all the notes that I just wrote down for my show, okay? That's all the notes that I just wrote down. I'm capable right now, if I went and took a half-hour nap, I could wake up 30 minutes later and go do a 3-hour radio show. Because all day long I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to talk about? What's the trajectory of the show? What's the direction that I'm going to take it? And then when I wake up in the morning, I can recalibrate quickly, make sure whether or not I've missed any stories, and be ready to go. That's how you have to live life if you're going to be successful. You can't be the person who gets too high or gets too low. You got to just go out and perform. And when I saw this guy, the best player on their team, was so confident and so in control of what his performance was going to be, that he was going to be ready, that he felt comfortable on the day of the game, signing these autographs, finding me in the outfield, jogging out and giving the baseballs to these kids. That's how you have to perform and prepare. I've always said this. A lot of kids will watch or listen to this in college. If you are the kind of person who stays up the night before to study for a final, it's not good. I've never been a stay up and perform the night before, get ready for a final kind of guy. If you're not ready the night before the final, then you've been failing in all of your preparation to that point. Waiting until the last minute to try to get ready is not the way to go. Own your preparation, work. Maybe you have to do it all the time so that you can dominate when the opportunity presents itself. And this is the truth too. It's amazing how much better luck I have the harder I work. I used to think that was a funny line that I think Yogi Berra, whoever came up with that the first time, if you are prepared at all times, then eventually success will find you because you'll be ready anytime you get the opportunity. You can't. This is one of the things that I learned about writing. And when I started writing online, people want to stop and pose after they write a good article. Okay, you just wrote a great column, and they want to stop and they want to pose and they want to pay attention to what everybody else thinks of that article. And I think social media exacerbates that right now. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen somebody read a good article and then said, okay, I want to go see what else they do, and they don't write for another month, or they don't write for 2 months, or they don't write for 6 months, and they just want to live off what they've already done. You got to show up and do the work every single day. And that, to me, Jake Mangum, great story, great lesson for Mississippi State. Go check out my Twitter feed if you want to go see what he sent to us. I got to tell you, guys, that 3-game series between Vandy and Mississippi State, we left. When Mississippi State went up 6-3, we left. I walked past a Vandy woman, middle-aged, in a jersey. She said, don't be a you-know-what, Clay, when I was leaving. All these Mississippi State fans, I congratulated them. They were Outkick fans. I said, you guys, congrats on the College World Series. They said, don't put that jinx on us. Have you never seen State before? We walked out. Vanderbilt hit 2 home runs. Game went into extra innings. I got to be honest with you. The one real downside of doing early morning radio and also having kids who have to get up early the next morning, we had left by the time we had been there. We got there right before 5. By the time we left, right around 11 o'clock, we'd been at that baseball game or in the gym waiting for the baseball game for 6 hours. That's about as long as you can make it with two 10-year-olds, a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, me, and a wife. That's about as much as you can do. That's only so much Dippin' Dots you can buy. There's only so many Spider-Man videos that he can watch on mom's phone before he dies, the 3-year-old. But it was a really cool experience. I love watching college baseball when you get buy into the process. Like I said, we thought it was going to be a 5 o'clock start, thought it would be over by 8:30-ish, 9 o'clock at the latest. And instead, we had to leave at 11. But congratulations to Mississippi State. That was an incredible experience. We had to leave early again. That's the biggest downside, I would say, about early morning radio, is you have to leave early. But that was a lot of fun. I'm going to watch the College World Series. I think it's one of the most underrated sporting events in the country. Love watching those games. Wish they were a little bit shorter, honestly. Wish they could get over a little bit faster, but I think it is outstanding. I do think it's better than Major League Baseball. I think it's better than Major League Baseball regular season. There's no doubt. All right. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'll get to LeBron's cast here in a minute. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey has apologized for eating Chick-Fil-A and tweeting about eating Chick-fil-A on Twitter. Now, look, I am a big Twitter fan. I've got a lot of my limited net worth in Twitter stock. This is, to me, a ridiculous story. If you haven't seen this, go look it up. Just Google it. At Jack on Twitter, or look it up on social media. This is part of my contention that social media is making everybody dumber. If you like chicken sandwiches, then eat a goddamn chicken sandwich. The fact that you feel as if you need to apologize for eating a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich during Gay Pride Month, first of all, is absurd. I know a lot of gay dudes and a lot of gay women who love Chick-fil-A. Do you know why? Because they make an incredible chicken sandwich. I am in Manhattan right now. Do you know that when Chick-fil-A came into Manhattan, everybody said, oh, they're going to protest here. This culture doesn't fit the island of Manhattan. New Yorkers are so left-leaning, there's no way they'll support Chick-fil-A. You know what happens? They have damn rope lines outside of the Chick-fil-A's in Manhattan to be able to get in and get one of their delectable chicken sandwiches. Do you know why? Because they're good at their product. This is in my new book, Republicans Buy Sneakers Too, which I would encourage you guys to go buy. I said straightforward, okay? Straightforward beyond a shadow of a doubt this. Worry about your product, not about the politics behind your product. Delta Airlines loses tons of $50 million in support from the state of Georgia because they decide to get involved in the Second Amendment. Do you know what I care about my airline and their Second Amendment choices? All I want you to do is work on your Wi-Fi. All I want you to be able to let me do is post anything that I want at any moment that I can actually post it. This idea that businesses need to be slicing and dicing us up and only appealing to people who believe that gay marriage should be legal and only appealing to people who believe that abortion should be murder or vice versa. I don't care about any of that. Make your product work. I got a crazy idea. You guys are watching me right now. Have I ever told you that you have to have a certain political belief, or if you have another political belief, that I think you're wrong? I'll tell you what I think, but I'm not out here presuming that you want me to suddenly tell you what you should think about abortion or gay marriage or what religion you should be or any of that stuff. Because frankly, I just don't care. It just doesn't matter to me. I don't care about anything other than trying to make sure that I, on any given day, can be as entertaining. This is my goal. Smart, original, funny, and authentic every day. I do it for 3 hours on the radio every morning. I try to do it for a half hour in the afternoon. And when I have time to write, I will 100% take the time to do it. I'm in the entertainment business. Some people say, oh, you should stop. Stop. I only want you to talk about sport. You know, I haven't mentioned hardly anything directly related to sports on this show so far. 100,000 people are going to watch it today. People are like, stick to sports. What do you want me to come on and do? Every day, like the dumbass talking heads, come on and tell you LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. I'm in the business of talking about interesting subjects. That's what I'm in the business of. That's my job. I'm in the opinion business. I look at complex stories and I come on and I try to talk to you about them. Okay? And I think that what has happened is people are so obsessed with only serving some certain community. I mean, think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute if you're the CEO of Twitter. You're the CEO of a $30 billion company. And you have the opportunity to go eat at Chick-fil-A and just tweet out that you like Chick-fil-A. And people come at you for saying that you like Chick-fil-A. And instead of telling them, you know what, I don't agree with everything that you think politically either, but guess what? Chick-fil-A has a really damn good chicken sandwich. That's all he had to say. Instead, he apologized for eating at Chick-fil-A and tweeting about it during Gay Pride Month. First of all, who even knows that it's Gay Pride Month? I can't keep up with all of this identity politics era. Everybody's got a week. Everybody's got a day. I can barely keep up with my anniversary. I can barely keep up with Father's Day and Mother's Day. Any more than that, my wife's birthday. Any more dates than that, I can't keep up with it. I'm sorry. If I offend you because I'm not giving particular credence to your particular group's blessed week, I got Mother's Day, I got Father's Day, I got my wife's birthday, and I got my anniversary. Oh, and also my kids' birthdays. That's like 7 days that I got to nail every year. 7 days that I can't screw up. I can't go 8. Maybe Christmas, and maybe Halloween because it's the same day every year. Half the time I got no idea when Thanksgiving was. My wife got on me. I booked our Thanksgiving trip the week before Thanksgiving. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff going on. I mess up on this stuff all the time. I can't remember anything else. If you want me to come on and be on top of any other dates, I got like 9 or 10 that I can remember. My kids' birthdays, my wife's birthday, maybe my parents' birthdays, D-Day. I did remember the D-Day anniversary. That's about it. Everything else, just deal with it. I'm not going to be the expert on everything. I'll tell you this. I like Chick-fil-A. I don't care what their politics are. If Chick-fil-A came out tomorrow, I'm going to be honest with you. If Chick-fil-A came out tomorrow and said they were sympathetic to ISIS, you know what I would do the next time I wanted a chicken sandwich? I'd go to Chick-fil-A. Because you know what? I don't really care what their opinion is on ISIS. I don't care what their opinion is on the Second Amendment. I don't care what their opinion is on gay marriage. I care about this. Is my opinion that their chicken sandwich is the best in the country correct? Yes, it is. That's all I care about. Do your product better than anybody else, and everything else takes care of it. Okay? That's zero doubt. That's the people in here. Like, name a company that you use that you don't like the politics of. Tons of people do. There's lots of you out there who are conservative that go to Starbucks every day because you got to have your fix of coffee. There's lots of you out there right now that don't agree with Target's transgender bathroom policy. By the way, why does Target have a transgender bathroom policy? But they got the slip covers that your wife put on the wedding list, and I'll be damned if you're going to go somewhere else to get them. I got to tell you, I don't care about anybody's politics. I fly Southwest. I don't know what they think about the Second Amendment. I know that they fly everywhere from Nashville direct. I'm flying British Airways to London to go to the Titans game. Do I have any clue what British Airways thinks about anything? No. I want them to have the Wi-Fi work. Twitter, I don't agree with everybody that they say. I don't agree with everything that Facebook says. The only person I agree with 100% is me. And that should be true for you too. There's so many complicated issues in this country today and in this world that you shouldn't be looking for companies to have the same opinion as you. You should be looking to make as good of decisions for yourself as you can, and then don't worry about anybody else but you. Believe in the power of the individual. Take care of yourself. All right, LeBron showing up with the cast. All right, so anyway, Jack, don't do that. I love Twitter. You created a great company. Don't turn into a pussy and apologize every time you do anything that upsets anybody. Because honestly, and I learned this early on Twitter, I went on Twitter and I was like early on in my career, I was doing radio and I was like, blackberry cobbler is the best dessert on the planet. I was on the radio. I stand by this. I will fight you if you disagree with me. By the way, pecan pie is number 2. And I went on and I said, blackberry cobbler is the best cobbler on the planet. And by the way, if you don't like cobbler, I think you're a communist. And a bunch of people started responding like, fruit sucks. I hate you. And they were serious. And I was like, man, if Twitter's going to be the kind of place where you can go on and say that you love cobbler and people get triggered by it, I'm never going to worry about whether somebody else agrees or disagrees with my opinion on this thing ever before. Because you know what? I'm right. Blackberry cobbler is amazing. It's the best of the cobbler family. Pyramid of cobbler extraordinariness, blackberry, right at the top. You're racist if you don't agree with me. Blackberry cobbler, right at the top. And I'm telling you that right now. Number 2 on my pyramid of excellence when it comes to delectable desserts. Number 2, the pecan pie. And if you disagree with me, you're racist. But everybody disagrees on Twitter all the time. And there is constant disagreement guy who gets into the comment section and immediately wants to disagree. And sometimes those are media people. And you can't really interact with them and you can't worry about them. You can't allow them to change your opinion. That's what happened with Jack. Go eat your chicken sandwich like a good American even if they don't agree with everything you do, they do make an incredible sandwich. All right, here's the deal. LeBron, but while we're on food, I can't decide if the IHOB people are geniuses or if they are the dumbest people on the planet. Because IHOP, which I ate at, by the way, and people are like, when's the last time you ate at IHOP? My kids love IHOP. They get pancakes every time we go there. And by the way, this is what they should be selling at the IHOP. Did you know this? I couldn't believe this. We ate at IHOP the other day, and they put their calories on the menu now. Did you know that IHOP's least caloric-ridden part of their entire menu is the pancake? My kid got a Cinestack. The Cinestack is like four stacks of pancakes covered in cinnamon, sugar. Like, it's amazing. It's one of the most amazing desserts I have ever seen this side of the blackberry cobbler and the pecan pie. The damn thing has 680 calories. It has less calories than a 6-inch Subway meal. Why has IHOP not got some fat ass eating pancakes every day like they did at Subway? Either they've got the entire menu printed wrong, and I need to file a class action lawsuit and sue them into the Stone Ages, or pancakes are some of the least calorie-laden, great-tasting devices anywhere. I almost took a picture of the IHOP menu. I don't know what's going on there, but literally the least caloric-laden entire thing on their menu was the most sweet starved pancakes. Now, I don't know if that means that the pancake in general, which I've always thought of as kind of unhealthy, maybe the pancake is so thin and there's so little substance to it that it doesn't actually lead to that many calories. But I'm sitting around thinking, hey, I got up to 195 and I'm on my way back down to 175. I'm at like 181 now. That's why I'm looking so fit and trim, and everybody watching this right now is taking their pants off. But I got to tell you, why would they change their name to IHOB when all they had to do was just say, hey, pancakes will make you skinny, and I'm eating there every day? If they told me pancakes would make me skinny, I would eat pancakes every meal. I don't understand it. They need to get their own fat guy who gets skinny because he just ate pancakes, and that place will triple in market value in like 2 years. I'm telling you right now. But here's the question. Do they intentionally do something this dumb just to get people like me talking about the fact that their name has changed and they know they're going to get ridiculed, and this is a brilliant marketing strategy by which they have prepared everybody, hey, we're going to get crushed for this, but suddenly, unbelievably, everybody is going to completely decide that we are connected to burgers. You don't have to agree or disagree with that. They obviously made the decision that burgers are more profitable or burgers are the future of their brand, whatever it is. Did they then decide we are going to create a huge counterwave of people who are furious at us for the decision that we made, which is cheaper than any marketing plan we could ever do to brand ourselves otherwise? In other words, we are going to create a huge angry tide of people who think we are idiots, but in the process, we are going to end up with more free media than we could spend $1 billion for. And some people out there are going to be like, you know what? I kind of wonder what an IHOP burger will taste like. Or, and this is my other question, are they actually going to do this initially for one day, say we're going to be the International House of Burgers, and then say, you know what? We were just fucking around with you guys. We're actually going to be the International House of Breakfast, but we believe you should be able to eat hamburgers all day long too. I think this may be genius, because I think they're not dumb enough to have pulled off the stupidity of being like what they are right now. They got McDonald's tweeting about them. They got Whataburger, everything else. Is the marketing plan here actually genius, and the results are going to be positive if they went ahead and said, look, all this attention is going to rain down on us, but as a result, we are going to have more attention than we would ever have received before? I think it's an amazing idea. I just want you to think about it. It could be complete genius. All right, we'll talk about LeBron's cast tomorrow because I don't think very much is going to happen. We're also going to talk about AT&T, Time Warner, Fox, Comcast, and Disney. I'm going to come on a little bit later tomorrow because we're supposed to get a ruling in the antitrust case that's been heard already about whether AT&T and Time Warner are going to be able to merge. It's going to be a blockbuster case. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to have read it. It's not going to be just the greatest place you can hear every possible subject known to man discussed. It's also going to be the place that breaks down this legal case better than anybody else can. I'm going to put on my legal hat for you and prove that I am an amazing attorney who's at least good enough to do it from his penthouse hotel. Again, we're going to be live if you're going to be at the U.S. Open Thursday and Friday out at Shinnecock Hills. Yes, I enjoy saying Shinnecock over and over and over again. We'll be out there on Thursday and Friday. I'll be doing the live show, and then I'm going to try to take my Periscope and Facebook and go out on the course and do it live there. It should be really cool. I'll give you my U.S. Open predictions later. I appreciate all of you for coming and hanging out. My name is Clay Travis. If you enjoy the show, share it. And if you enjoy a Chick-Fil-A chicken sandwich delectably, great. Don't worry about what month it is or what week it is. Just bite into that juicy chicken goodness. I am Clay Travis. If you're in Manhattan, look for the sexy, bearded man with the great hair, all natural, a little bit of gray at the wingtips. I'll be out and about for the next several days, doing my show live, radio. Come hang out with us, 6 to 9 a.m., every station just about nationwide, all 50 states, and Sirius satellite radio along with XM. Gambling picks will come later. I am Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the show. Go check out sportsbookreview.com for all the gambling needs for the U.S. Open this weekend. And if you own a home and you need to get a new mortgage, my friend Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. If you have credit card debt, he can wipe it out and give you a great rate on a mortgage. Make sure that you do it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Kisses, DBAP boys and girls. But remember, SBAP sometimes. I'll see y'all.